What is going on? Welcome to this episode of Let Him Breathe. And today I'm here with David from Red Wagon Dioramas.
Hi, everyone. Good to see
Welcome,
you.
David.
Thanks,
How you
Rick.
doing, man? We've talked lots, but never been, sharing the screen before until now. So this will
First
be
time.
a day in history. And I
Mark
know
this.
we both share a love for the vintage Star Wars, the Kenner Star Wars, the retro jumbo Star Wars. And you're a diorama guy, so we both have a lot of, you know, I'm not really a diorama guy, but it's something I totally appreciate. And others, I'm sure, like me, to kind of display your certain figures together if they're in a diorama or not. So usually Hammerheads, Near Greedo, and Walrus Man. And if you got a cool diorama behind it, even better. So what kind of scales do you have some dioramas in? I just want to throw that out there.
Sure. My dioramas I've done actually are pretty much Black Series, 6-inch scale. I have a shelf of Kenner behind me, but those aren't like handcrafted or anything. The handcrafted foam board, glue, paint, all that stuff I did for the Black Series scale.
So you've done none for like 1/18 scale.
I have done none. No.
I'm quite surprised because you also collect, 3 3/4 scale, right?
I do. I collect. I got into it with Black Series, and then I fell back into love with Kenner. So I started collecting all the Kenner stuff, and now I collect a lot of TVC as well. But I don't put much of that on the channel, honestly. I think in the future I will do dioramas for TVC. I just have not
Cool,
yet.
cool. So are you, when it comes to TVC, are you in any way a completist, one of those guys?
Oh, no way, not at all. Nope.
And is it because they make too much, or are you just not a fan of like certain characters or certain genres of Star Wars in that scale? What's up,
Yeah,
Wiz? Mike.
yeah. Hey, Nick, and Mike's a buddy of mine local here. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome.
Um, question. I would say the short answer is yeah. I'm not going to buy everything because I'm not a fan of some characters. Like I have so much in the collection. I have to pare it down. I have to focus on what I really love. Even in Black Series now, I buy less Black Series. I'm focused mostly on original trilogy, and I still like Star Wars Rebels and Rogue One, Andor, and really enjoyed those shows. But I'm buying less prequel stuff even, and like no
Now
sequel.
that they're making a bunch of prequel stuff in 6-inch, right?
Yeah, there's some great figures that came out for prequels this year. I did pick up a handful of them, but I didn't get all of them yet.
Yeah, I'm quite selective now. I like to think when it comes to all of my collecting, like especially when it comes to Black Series, because I do like the 6-inch scale for action figures. Where it messes me up a little bit is that there's a few companies that make 7-inch figures,
Yeah,
and whether it's wrestling or NECA or you know, there's McFarlane, the other big one, that takes up a lot of characters. DC Universe, and then NECA doing a lot of Universal Pictures, Back to the Future, horror shows, all 7-inch. And it's cool to have Samuel Jackson standing beside Hammerhead and Freddy and Jason and Marty McFly, and then you see like what. Well, why is Marty an inch taller than Frankenstein? Or I know it's not exactly that, but that kind of bothers me a little bit. I wish they would just make a rule like your figure must be this tall.
yeah, I know. For those of us who, well, see, and I stay pretty much in the Star Wars lane. I do have some Marvel and some some other stuff, but I've stayed mostly away from McFarlane and NECA and all that. But my buddies have it all, and they have collections that are mixed, 6-inch, 7-inch, and it is a little. I think everybody wishes it was all one scale, but
Well, now with the 3 3/4, they've introduced the 4-inch
yeah,
scale, whether it's Epic Force or Action Verse, whatever they call it now. And I like those too for certain characters like Hulks and other characters that aren't really made in that scale too often in any other series. And I don't notice a size difference when it's like a Hulk beside a 3 3/4, Spider-Man or something like that, because he's a bigger guy.
yeah.
Do you get any of the Star Wars epic action world of heroes, whatever they call it?
I have picked up a few this year. I picked up that X-Wing with Luke.
That was pretty cool. I still see that right now at my EB Games, and I
Yeah,
like it's so retro looking with the stickers and stuff.
I yeah, I picked that up. I had a great time. I did a review on that, and then I actually brought that to the convention in Nashville. And I showed it to Jim Swearingen. And I have a great video. I don't know if you've seen that video yet, but where I
I
show
didn't
him
see that one with Jim. No.
the Epic Heroes one side by side with his. It's a great 10-minute little interview, and he loved it. He thought it was fascinating to see what Hasbro was doing that was so close to his original design.
What
But
I've
yeah,
seen cool from
falls
yourself
apart.
and other guys going to like the IC convention and getting Jim Swearingen like the sign, like, well, here, sign my wing and my X-wing and stuff like that.
Right.
Like that's amazing. When I met Mark Brudeau, rest in peace, he created the Falcon and he was at Celebration in the Hasbro booth. And I met him and I spoke with him for like 2 minutes and I got a couple autographs from him. But it never dawned on me like, oh, just go buy a Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
ramp
Go buy one, get it signed. Yeah.
or a trap door and get him a sign. I never even thought of that, man. Like, think of it now because seeing other people have done similar things. But
Can I tell my Mark Boudreau story real quick?
absolutely, man.
I went to HasCon because I live here in New England, not too far from Hasbro. In 2017, they had their own HasCon convention, and I was new into collecting at the time. I had just gotten into Black Series, and I was there with my young kids. I had my 3 young kids with me. They were dressed up. One was Kylo Ren. It was great. We were just having a great time at the convention, and we were over at the Hasbro booth, and I was checking out the new Force Link toys. The ones with the thing on the wrist that makes reads the character, and and we were playing with it. I didn't know it was Mark Boudreau who was helping us. And
Oh, okay.
he was showing my son how to do it and all this stuff. And we're talking, just having a normal conversation. I didn't know who he was. And then I looked behind him on the wall, and there was one of the images of him in the Kenner days with the Falcon and much younger, 20 years prior.
Cool, cool.
And I was like, wait a minute, is that you on the wall? He's like, yeah, that's me. Like, wait a minute, who are you? That was great.
That is cool.
And that was it. But I did get to meet him, and we had a quick little conversation. He was a very humble guy, and sadly, I know later he got sick with COVID and all that and passed. But
And that was I think this one employment for his full adult life until he passed. I don't know if he'd officially retired or not. I think he might have still been around, but maybe not working, maybe getting out of the workforce and just being, an office kind of person. But there's not too many people that can say they stuck with the same job, out of university or high school, whatever it may be for him, and retire at that job, right? And be a standout person. Like, look how many people, someone just like him or Jim Swearingen, other people that worked at Kenner at the time, have had an impact on our lives, just not in general, but as collectors and what we like to buy as a disposable income. We're putting a lot of it towards stuff that they not invented but created for us when we were kids.
And I did get to thank Mark Boudreau very profusely. When I realized who it was, I was like, thank you for my childhood. I think I said something like that. Thank you for everything you did for my childhood.
I think I said something quite similar too. Like I get starstruck when I meet certain people. At that same celebration, just walking down the hallway, and all of a sudden I see like the hallway in the convention, like one of the big hallways, and there's John Boyega walking like right towards me, and I see all these people sticking out their phones, and he was like standing in front of them and getting selfies and grabbing people's phones and taking pictures. So I just kind of stood where I was standing, and he walked like right to me and grabbed my phone and took a quick selfie and stuff. That was pretty cool because you can't really say much, right? Like, so I said, attack the block to kind of keep his attention and make him smile.
Yeah.
Because that was my first, viewing of John Boyega in the theaters was Attack the Block. And it's still a fantastic movie.
Oh, that's great. Are you going to go to Celebration, by the way, in 27 in California?
Unless something happens like drastically, like, yes, because I think coming up, we're about to discuss a little bit of like 2027 is 50th anniversary of Star Wars. And that is when Celebration is in California, right? in
Yeah.
2027.
Yep, in April, I believe. Yeah.
So I'm assuming tickets will go on sale, early this in 2026, maybe about April, maybe about the same time. I think it was May the 4th. Might have been a day that went on sale in the past, but I would love to go, man. I met so many lifelong friends at the last one in Chicago I went to, and that was also my first one. And I'm also a strong petitioner, if that's a good word to use. Promoter is another good word. Bring Star Wars Celebration to Canada.
Hmm.
So 2027, it's going to be in California after being in Tokyo and then previously in London. And then before that, it was in California again. And then Chicago in 2018. That's when I went. And that's when I first met like Gentle Giant. Was that 2018 was the first year I met folks at Gentle Giant when they contacted me and I started designing some products with them.
I'd love to
So,
hear more about
and
that
because I
sometime.
made a couple extra bucks, I was working full time at the time, but it was something I was easily able to do at home as I'm doing now. And because I made a few extra bucks doing some work for them, I was able to afford the $6,000 or $7,000 Canadian it cost me to go down to Chicago, stay in a nice hotel for 5 nights, and go to Celebration and buy some souvenirs and steak dinners and all that kind of stuff. So it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Absolutely. I haven't traveled much, but it was a big one. And I really hope to do it again. And I'm glad it's at least in a different place. I've been to California before, but not since I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
So also gives me a chance to go to Star Wars Land, a place
Yeah.
I've not been to. And fingers crossed by 2027, get a couple of paintbrushes out there, a couple of new costumes, and all of a sudden we got Han Solo and Luke Skywalker walking around instead of just, Phantom, whatever
Yeah.
sequel trilogy characters walking around Batu Land. Just
Yeah.
make it Star Wars Land and have all the characters walk around, and there you go. Everyone's happy.
Real quick, you're in Vancouver, right? Is that where you are?
I'm in Vancouver, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will be the ideal place to have the next Star Wars celebration, in my opinion.
Well, there's a lot of Hollywood presence there, right? They film a lot in
Oh,
Vancouver.
a lot of TV and movies are filmed here like every day. Like all the studios now have studios here in Vancouver, and most of them have studios in Ontario in the Toronto area as well. Both provinces offer like tax breaks, similar to like Georgia and maybe Texas and other states in the states offer tax breaks for filmmakers to go and film down there, right? Because it brings a lot of money,
Yeah.
to your community when it's because you got a lot of people working in these industries. So yeah, in Vancouver we have all the IHATSE unions and film operators and camera operators and stagecraft people and designers and artists. So Amazon and Disney and Sony, just to name a few, all have big, huge studio presences here. And a big part of that is in Canada, the CRTC, we have rules here in Canada, much like America has rules too. They're different though. We actually have to have, like, I think it's 30% of the content on these streaming platforms has to be Canadian.
Hmm.
So it can't just be Squid Games and, the A-Team and Star Wars. There has to be like Beachcombers and Littlest Hobo and, other things that are Canadian made and not just made in Canada, even though, like, I guess Battlestar Galactica, the modern TV series, that was all made here.
Huh.
But I think it was an American sci-fi, like it was an American company that produced it up here. So that's one of the rules. So part of the reasons why they built all these big studios here. So there's more coming. They're rebuilding all the sets now, just about 15 minutes away from me for the new Shogun season 2.
Cool.
And if you haven't watched Shogun, man, dude, it's one of the best TV shows in modern history. Like Andor, Shogun, Better Call Saul, and Breaking Bad are some of my all-time favorites. They all happen to be drama, and the Shogun was made here, and I want to go work on it,
Mm.
even if I'm just like some homeless, whatever, old man in the background or whatever. I met a couple of guys through Facebook Marketplace selling some toys over the summer. They worked on Shogun. One was like a stage builder guy, and I follow him on Instagram and watching updates. And another was an actor, like a background actor, and he had to get his head shaved in that Shogun kind of way with the little ponytail in the back. And he didn't have, I don't think he had any much dialogue. Maybe in one episode he did, but he said it was just a blast, man. And a lot of Canadian cast, as we know, with Paul Sun being was he in that one? I know he's in the Avatar show.
I don't know if he was in that.
I don't think I spoiled it, but maybe he will be in that one.
Well, anyway,
so,
I want to see. Yeah. I want to hear what you put on the screen here, because I saw you post some of this stuff.
What's on the screen now?
You got Mr. Stevie's mystery blobs up there.
Oh, it's not
the retro collection.
Oh, that's on Facebook. Sorry, I'm here clicking around.
Oh, that's what I see on the screen here.
All right, okay. Let me get my mouse working. Why does it stop working when I need it?
People who just watch live streams and don't run live streams it's a tough thing to be talking and controlling things at the same time, especially for us old guys.
I'm getting used to it. I'm just, I'm picky. Like, I want stuff to look good. So is this as big as I can make this? I think it is, right? Yeah. So Mr. Stevie updated with an all new, fresh and updated retro collection checklist. What's it say? Collect all 108. So we've already got more retro collection figures than we did original trilogy vintage Kenner Star Wars figures. So that's kind of to think about. We're like, oh, we're missing so many, but yet we've already got more.
Yeah,
that's because of we got Mando and Ahsoka. And
the new media.
Yeah. So I'm a collector. Collect them all, if that's the correct word. When it comes to the retro collection, I'm a huge fan of these. I'm happy that at least 10 or 15 of these I was able to find on $5 clearance in our Dollarama up here in Canada, which is like your dollar stores.
Yeah.
So Army Building, custom Boba Fett's, you name it. $5, man. I'll buy as many of them as I see. I'm not lying. Like, I think I saw 12 of them at my dollar store. I bought them all. And I've resold like I think 3 of them.
Yeah.
For I think the same price to local collectors. So yeah, we have the new updated checklist with the 3 teased, fully announced retro figures. So we have Long Snoot Grindan, which looks pretty good. This is just a 3D render, but there are a couple of photos of him. He does look pretty good. What's this guy's name?
CZ. Well, for you, Z, right? CZ 4 or 5? What is it?
I can say Z. Yeah. So he looks fantastic. He's probably.
Yeah, I was excited about that one.
I'm excited for all 3 of these because they're all much wanted Kenner figures. And R4M9, which is another great figure that I actually drew. I drew him as a, one of my vector artworks back in the day.
Cool.
So I'm happy to see those. So this is coming out in 2026, probably, mid to late in the season. And according to Yak Face, it looks like it's going to be a Target exclusive, which kind of sucks, but we should be able to get it at places like EB Games up here in Canada. So that's awesome. And I'm a huge fan of the retros. And yeah, man. And going into 2027 for the retro collection.
This is fun right here.
So this is what I would like. Again, I don't work for Hasbro. I would like to. I'm available. I'm not moving to America, but I can work from home. So coming up in 2027, as it's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, so I fancily popped in the new 50th anniversary logo, which I'm telling you right now, 2027 is going to be a huge year for Star Wars merchandise.
Yeah.
Spaceballs merchandise, you name it, man. we're spending all of our hard-earned money on children's toys again.
Yeah, there's going to
So
be a ton of stuff out there.
I'm predicting they at least make something. Like Hasbro's gonna make something unless for some reason they don't have a Hasbro license in 2 years. But I follow Mr. Stevie on Instagram, and he talks about he's already planning 2027.
Yeah, they're 2 years ahead all the time.
So when I heard him say that, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna get my notepad, so I got right here, and I'm gonna plan 2027 just to make your job easier, Mr. Stevie, in case he hasn't, completed the deal. But I would like to see, and realistically, I think they could do this: a revamp, a re-release of the original Kenner X-wing, but make it red 5. So Luke would have 5 stripes on the wing here, where originally as kids we only had 3 of these red stripes.
Yep.
So officially, that's not Luke's X-wing. It's red 3. I'm gonna like this post.
I think this is a great idea. I was trying because they're not that hard to find. It's not hard to find an X-wing that's in decent shape. They're about $100 or so in around here, for one of the originals. But so I don't know if it would sell a lot. It'd be fun. It'd be a novelty thing. But I think doing what you're doing here, making it a little bit different, is a great idea. Plus, the removable helmet Luke, I think that's cool too. So I could actually see them doing this.
Yeah, I think with any of these releases that they might do, like let's call this a small to mid vehicle. I can't see why they wouldn't include a pack-in figure that's a new figure, right? So a Luke with a removable helmet would be a new figure. Wedge Antilles would also be a new figure. So another option, right?
Yep.
Carson Teva with this X-wing. But again, we're going to tie this with 2027 and the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. So Star Wars and Wedge are kind of obvious no-brainers. Have them both. One be a Target exclusive and one be mainline.
Yeah.
They don't have to have lights and sounds. But honestly, lights and sounds can't cost more than $1.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like an LED back then probably cost, 6 cents. Now they might cost 50 cents. So I think it's realistic, but I don't think it would stop me from not buying it if it did or didn't have lights.
No, I'd still be in even without the charming buzzer.
What if it was $100 American?
Boy, that's tough, but I would still buy one. I'm more interested in this though, honestly.
Because the $100 American, I'm thinking, you know what, that they would do that with the current, state of economics and stuff. I can just see it being $20 more than probably what it should be.
Yep.
But yeah, an X-wing would be a winner. Welcome, Mr. B. All right, so next up here we have originally was the Palatoy Death Star made of chipboard. We also got this in Canada, and it was made in Kenner. It was actually made in Canada, printed and made and die cut in Canada. So our boxes actually had the Kenner logo, even though it was designed by Bob Backlund in the UK, who worked for Palatoy. Another guy I would love to meet, man. Is that someone you've met?
No.
And I know recently the Skeletron crew made an action figure in his likeness.
Oh, really?
Because he was original Palatoy, what are they called? Action Force in the UK? G.I. Joe kind of guy. He's Kung Fu grip guy.
Huh.
But he also designed this. So he's a toy lord, much like the previous people we were talking about who worked at Kenner. He's another toy lord because he made this. So I don't think there's any rules why they couldn't make this. I think Hasbro owns the rights to anything that was ever Star Wars related with Kenner and Palatoy. I could be wrong, but Kenner also made this in Canada, and I think Hasbro would own the rights to any Canadian printed material by Parker Brothers. I don't know. There's probably a lot of steps like Parker Brothers or
Yeah.
Irwin or whoever the board game company that helped production with these in Canada or in the UK, because Palatoy might not have been a board making company. And this was made by like the board making companies, right? Parker Brothers, let's say as an example, because they had and puzzle makers, Milton Bradley, or they just have the factories. All they do is print on paper and die cut it. So that's exactly what this was, right? And why not include another new figure we've never had before? And the first one that came to my head was Anakin or Darth Vader removable helmet.
Yep.
Much like I designed one for Jumbo General Giant and others custom figure makers have made, and it would be a great addition.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would love, I mean, that play set, I don't know if I've ever seen one in person. They are very rare around here. The Palatoy one, obviously. So I think that's a great idea for 2027.
They're
Would
they're
be in.
rare in general because, like you said, they weren't mass produced for the world's biggest economy, the U.S. So they were only available like in Europe.
Yeah.
I think Australia, Tall Toys might have had some. That I don't know if they're made there. They might have been, imported from the UK, or they might have been imported from Canada because Australia imported their land speeders from Canada at the time. Because Canadian land speeders had stickers on them, and the US ones, I think the stripes were painted, or it's the other way around. American and Canadian land speeders are a little bit different as well. So this, I think, would be a no-brainer if they got the rights. Again, let's throw another $100 in the picture. I know how much exactly it costs to make this because I've quoted it. This exact item, just the cardboard, not including the blow mold or the injection molded parts that are required to. Actually, the plastic parts are not even required in this set. If you were to find it incomplete, you can still build it.
Yeah.
The clips just hold it steady on the bottom, and those little X-wing cannons are X-wing cannons. So you could. There are reproductions out there.
There's a dome on top of it, right? Is that what it is?
There's a little dome that's like the same materials as like a clamshell. Like it's very thin PET plastic, so very cheap to produce. Anything PET, like blow mold or vacuum mold, because it's disposable, right? It's all just recyclable crap, plastic, garbage. So this, I think, would be a no-brainer, and I think it would be one of Hasbro's best-selling modern era toys ever, in my opinion. I don't know marketing, but they would sell tens of thousands of these because they're that rare. Like I've owned 3 of these. I do come across them. There currently is at least one available local on Craigslist for like $1,500, but they are available.
Yeah.
And going on the retro collection in 2026, we know we have a 6-pack coming up, and there's 3 unknown figures as we kind of saw. I passed that picture. There's 3 unknown figures. I don't think one of them's Hammerhead. I think Mr. Stevie is not producing Hammerhead because of me only.
It's personal.
He wants to give it to me personally at Celebration in 2 years. That's my opinion.
Yeah, his blacked out blobs did not appear to have the shape of a Hammerhead.
No, but
I think so.
I also think that he's trolling. I think he just picked random figures like Tron and Frankenstein and like whatever, Garfield, and just did a little Photoshop blur just to make us do guessing. I bet you, because if he would have put the real ones, we would already figured it out. We're nerds, man. Come on.
Well, I don't know. He might have put.
So in my opinion, Mr. Stevie, I think you're just trolling us, and maybe Hammerhead is in there. So I think that at least one of them will be a repack similar to the Walrus Man repack we just got.
Yeah,
it's just my opinion because they can. They won't sell one less set if they included Hammerhead or Greedo in this box set. Actually, no, Greedo they haven't made yet, so but they could do both.
Yeah,
And Red Snaggletooth.
I think there'll be one more new figure, one Kenner repack, repro, Like I think the Cantina band member is a good candidate for one of those blacked out blobs.
Yeah, because here I was thinking that too in my notes here. What would the potential army builder be in this?
Right. They always want to put an army builder in these, so you buy multiples. So
I'm gonna go back to that picture here just so we can see the fake blacked out Ewoks. Where the hell did it go?
You had it. There we go.
So yeah, back in the day we had blacked out Ewoks. Now we got the blacked out. Who knows? So one of them is not Red Snaggletooth, right? Because he's shorter, or an Ewok, or another astromech. But if it was, it would be obvious. So that's why I think he's trolling us. It looks like just 3 hooded figures.
I know. I was thinking, well, one of them's Obi-Wan, but no, they already.
I bet you none of them has a hood.
Yeah.
First off, and I think because there's still like 4 people complaining that we got a repack of Walrus Man, that this potentially is 3 all new, never made before figures. So altogether 6 all new figures. I think the chances are good, but my best scenario is there's 1 repack in there, just so we can get them.
Yeah, I think they'll put a repack in there. I think they have to, just to because people do want the originals released, just to have a nice carded figure that doesn't cost you hundreds of dollars.
I know I do. So I just need Hammerhead. I know I'm not the only one, but he's my favorite vintage.
What if they did Hammerhead as a Build-A-Figure and you had to buy 6 other characters to get an arm and a leg and a head?
You know what?
A Build-A-Figure wave in the retro collection.
I would be in. So just because I said that. So a question I ask all my guests on Let 'Em Breathe. David, who is your favorite vintage Kenner Star Wars action figure?
Ooh.
And why is it Hammerhead?
And why is it Hammerhead? Well, my favorite in my collection, I'll just read, it's 3 feet away from me. I have been asked this before, but I'm going to share my childhood Luke Skywalker. So,
that's awesome that you have that.
Now, I wrote my initials on the feet. He's black, so it's black Sharpie. But when I found my childhood figures, probably 3 or 4 years ago now, and I started collecting again, I decided, you know what, I'm going to mark all my childhood ones. So I wrote my initials as an adult. Just a couple of years ago, I just put marker on the feet of them so I would never get confused. But I would say that Luke being my favorite character in this particular figure, I played with all the time as a kid. So it is my favorite in my collection.
Awesome. Good answer. There are no wrong answers. And I just want to confirm, when did you put your initials on the feet?
Like 3 or 4 years ago as an adult.
Okay, so not as a child.
Not as a kid. No.
That is awesome. So I don't know if you watched any of my videos, but anytime I've showed off, some of my vintage, I know I got one here. Some of my vintage figures. Yeah, here's a good example. So none of my toys are from my childhood, sadly.
Oh,
I sold them all for $10
Yeah.
when my family moved from Ontario to British Columbia. So my favorite figure is Hammerhead.
Yeah.
And the initials on the feet are TD for Tony, insert last name here. He's a childhood friend of mine from British Columbia that I knew from high school. And I bought his toy collection.
Oh, that's great.
20 something years ago. So and that's how most of my collection was completed when it comes to vintage Star Wars. So many, like dozens of my original Kenner loose collection are minty. They're from Tony, and they have Tony's initials on the feet. And because of that, I can't get rid of them.
No, never sell those.
Like, they're not mine.
Yeah.
But like when he was, and I don't think he did that 3 years ago. I think his mom or him did that as a kid, because I know many of us did that as a kid. So, they wouldn't get traded at the playground, right?
I got to show you another one
that Billy's house.
I'm never going to sell this one either. This is my childhood Lando, and that's a silver duct tape cape.
Yeah, perfect.
And
You
I
can just
remember
make a cape out of duct tape.
my mom made this cape for me. I must have been 5 years old or something, and because the capes would always rip at the arms, right? And
Oh,
I
you
was
said the whole tape is a piece of duct tape?
the whole cape is a piece of duct tape that she cut, and then
Dude,
she
that
put
is
it on,
awesome.
and the figure is covered with adhesive and glue and dust and cat hair and
Bubble
whatever else.
gum and
But it's gross, but it's a great memory from my childhood. This
how many do you have from your childhood?
I have about 20. I think I about 15 or 20 of them. Yeah.
I think the only item I have from my childhood, like literally toy wise, is this little
Oh, the
Wicked
little eraser.
eraser.
Yeah.
It just got found in a box one day, and I'm like, oh my god, man, this is like 48 years old. Like, where's this been hiding? Like, I've
That's awesome.
never moved anywhere with toys. But even when I moved here from Ontario in a car, my mom and dad, me and my sister, and a cat and a litter box, some photo albums, and some personal belongings, because we sold all of our furniture and whatnot, and we just drove to British Columbia and started a new life out here. So I probably only brought a couple of action figures with me, and I remember one of them being GI Joe Barbecue,
Oh, okay. Yep.
like a fireman GI Joe guy, and I think we bought him at like a Kmart, like along the drive or something, right? And there must have been a Star Wars. It might have been a Chewbacca or someone, just so I had a couple of toys, right? But duct tape,
Duct tape. Yeah.
after high school, so probably 19, 20 years oldish. One of my buddies just made everyone wallets made of duct tape.
I remember that trend.
And I think I still have it because you could run over it with a tank, dude. It's like not a whole roll of tape, but many, many layers of duct tape, and it's like folded perfectly and has little pockets for your credit cards, and just brilliant, man. Duct tape. So the Star Wars multi-packs that they make for the retro are all based on this Canadian exclusive. They had an original 12-pack, Consumers Distributing, and I believe Sears had it, and then this special 9 minifigure set. So we still need Gonk, R5D4, Death Star droid, Greedo, and Red Snaggletooth. So we need like most of this box set. We do have the Luke X-Wing, correct?
Do we? I don't know if we do. I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. I've got all my retro up here behind me. I don't think they remade that.
I know Luke's Snow Speeder.
Yeah, they have the Snow Speeder one, but I don't think they redid.
You might, I think you're right, because I would remember it. So yeah, the only figure in this box that we have already is Boba Fett.
And they love re-releasing Boba Fett. So,
and you know what? Like, so when I posted this on Facebook, there's been a few comments out of there. Yeah, just remove Boba Fett. And I'm like, well, Boba Fett was in this. It made this box set a cool box set. Like it made it extra cool. I think people would still buy it, the exact same amount of people, if it had or didn't have Boba Fett.
I'm not familiar,
but it would be a big box because those bubbles are getting thicker every year.
Was it packaged with a clear bubble where you could see the figures, or was it a cardboard box?
No, they were all individually carded. The same figures. They might have had a different, like, barcode number on the back because they're Canadian Kenner items. But yeah, this is a hard to find box set. They exist, man. There's a few of them that float up on, the high-end Star Wars groups, and they go for stupid, like thousands of dollars. So I can't say yes or no if I had any of these box sets. I have memories of them, not because I don't think they were on store shelves. They were like in the catalogs. So like in Sears, 1978 Sears Wish Book, you guys had them in the States, right?
Yep.
We had them in Canada too, but they were different. We had this in them. Like, so they were a little bit different. And then one of them we had the Palatoy Death Star, which you guys didn't have. So our Christmas catalogs are going to be a little different. And those are hard to find. I saw someone had a Sears wish book. I think it was like a 1984 one, which had a lot of Empire Strikes Back stuff. It was a very cool one, and they wanted like $100 for it. I think it was a flea market or a toy show. It's cool, but it's not $100 cool.
Yeah.
Like 30, I'd do $30 Canadian. I'd be good with that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That was a huge tradition for us, obviously, going through the catalogs and circling everything that we saw in there and asking it for Christmas, for
So that's my retro collection, left close theories. And now just a quick Black Series one.
I like it.
Since we got this 3-pack, probably 3-4 years ago now. For a year on, I don't see it. It's about damn time we get a second half. So I think we're going to get a second half in 2027. It's the only figure I'm convinced will be included. No brainer would be Werher the bartender.
Yep.
Pictured here, these are all vintage collection ones just because I don't use AI crap. Just plunk those in. But I would love Red Snaggletooth, why not? And Lack Sivrak would be one of my alien choices, but this is the Batman. It's not the Lack Man, but it's just a substitute for now.
Yep.
I didn't want to
great idea. Great idea. The Black Series would eat this up. This would sell for sure.
I think it's much needed. And again, whether it be a convention exclusive like at Celebration or San Diego, or some of these items, we're going to have convention exclusives. It's a thing. And what we had for Star Wars, or it wasn't Star Wars, it was Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary. They released a bunch of Black Series on retro card backs, including 3 retro ones, which were Obi-Wan Kenobi with a vinyl caped. Yep. And I believe these are all Amazon exclusives. Greedo with no vest in the proper retro green colors. And the Jawa with a soft goods robe. Those are some of my favorite Black Series they ever made, mostly because of the retro colors. And then secondarily because I like the card backs. I don't like figures in boxes. If I wasn't, like, I'm a let 'em breather. So I know there's people that are in boxers, those people. I like the carded figures, whether it's 3 3/4 scale or 6-inch scale. It takes up a little more room because of 6-inch scale, but it just does good. It, like, the artwork is part of these toys.
Yeah. And
it's always Star Wars with me. So the nostalgia, seeing the racetrack chrome logo, Luke and Leia, that little Hildebrandt logo, that's what gets it to me. And then the Kenner colors hammerhead with that original Kenner airbrushed photo art on the card back is the other thing that's just as cool to me. Like, I love the original Kenner. So I predict 3 or 4 more of these in retro Kenner colors, and maybe another wave that's mainline, like they did 20 of them that weren't Kenner colors for
Star Wars,
Empire, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Since we're just going on 50th anniversary of A New Hope, maybe they just have a New Hope wave.
Yeah. I have all those New Hope ones, the Black Series ones, up on the wall. I have them in a hockey jersey case with a little glass case, and
they're
big.
Good looking figures, man. They're so
big.
My favorite Black Series are Hammerhead, and he came in a stupid box.
Yeah, yeah.
Now just take him, turn his stupid ass head sideways, and stick him on a card. They did it with Gamorrean Guard. Yeah, they did it with Gamorrean Guard. They came out with them in a big box, deluxe price, $10 more. And then 2 years later, they released them on this anniversary Lucasfilm card back where the bubble's like 4.5 inches thick and it weighs like 18 pounds for regular retail price.
Yeah, yeah.
Same accessories. And it's one of the better looking figures ever made. So, yeah, no brainer. They're going to make these.
Yep.
Hammerhead better be one of them, or I quit. I just quit. 50th anniversary could be my final year, man, if they don't make these final toys that I need in my collection. And that includes a HasLab for this collection Sandcrawler.
I love this idea. I was hoping for this, honestly, instead of the gunship. And
I've been hoping for it for 3 years, and every time they announce a new vintage collection HasLab, I guess let's do this one, and they kind of don't. Oh, it's about time you let them breathe.
I'm going to open a hammerhead on your stream in honor of your
Praise
fast.
Praise the toy lords. Hammerhead is free.
I picked up an extra on Amazon last week for the $15 sale. That was a pretty good
He's
price.
back. He's there again this morning. I saw.
Yeah.
And I've seen people have been finding that at Ross for like whatever, the $8.99 or $6.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And also the fake lac Sivrak, the
Brutus.
Pirate Brutus, which is a great figure. Like if I saw him in my dollar store for $6, I'd be buying up all of them because we all need a custom lac Sivrak until they make one.
I muted myself for the plastic bubble there, but there he's free.
Oh, that's okay. We don't mind that music here. So because I got a couple of Hulk items that are just sitting in boxes for no reason. So
hey, real quick on the leave the Sandcrawler up here for a sec. So here's my idea for the HasLab, because it'll be huge. What if they did half the Sandcrawler? What if they split it right down the middle so it was a display piece on one side, and then you rotate it and it's a play set on the inside? Do you think that would fly? And then it fits on a shelf. It fits on a 12-inch shelf instead of a huge table.
I get it. Do you think they would do something like that? Like then it wouldn't be a toy.
It wouldn't be a full vehicle. It'd be because they've done that with some of the other HasLab.
It'd be a diorama piece.
It'd be a diorama set. Yeah. The Ghost, they made it so you can take off one wing so it can fit on a shelf. The Razor Crest, you take off one engine, it fits on the shelf. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that the Sandcrawler is so big.
Oh, yeah. How do I get out of this now?
It's a shelf killer piece. So I just my thought is like, man, maybe you could just do half of it and split it down this middle, and then at least it's more displayable, and it provides a bunch of play features if you want to do it that way. Just
absolutely. Like it's one of my favorite vehicles in general, and it's realistically they could make this, but I do think it would have to be a HasLab. I don't think this is a made-to-order kind of item. I think this is a $399 US item, or whatever the most is they've charged for a HasLab so far. It would be that price, up $25 more than whatever that price was. So yeah, $400+ That makes it very expensive, like $500, $600 in Canada. But I think it would be their most successful one, to be fair. Like, but maybe not, because people that bought like something like the Ghost, I think 60 to 70% of those are 30-something-year-old people, and then the rest are senior citizens like us. But I think the Sandcrawler is more appealing to us senior citizens than the kids. If you think, I think I'm pretty accurate there. But the Razor Crest did quite well. The Ghost did quite well. But the Barge, I think the Barge was the first one and knocked it out of the park. I think this would do very similar as the Barge, which I'm sad I missed out on, because I would love it.
I'm muted. Hang on. Speaking of the Barge, what about a retro collection re-release for 2027
of the Sandcrawler?
The Barge, the Katana. But as
someone posted that on one of my pages, man.
I would love that. They could do a repaint. They could, I don't know.
Would they paint it white like the Hiss tank?
The Arctic Barge, the Arctic,
the Hoth Barge. I think they could. That also had electronics, but they wouldn't be utilizing the same molds because they don't exist. They would have to digitally rebuild these vintage Kenner toys. So there is a cost involved. It's not free. Like they can't just pull the old molds out of the warehouse.
Yeah.
And not use the electronics. I think it's realistic. It's my most wanted vintage collection HasLab, and I just hope it happens. Every year I predict it, and every year I tend to fail. And now, not vintage collection, but Black Series, I can't see any reason why they couldn't revisit this. And I say that because they have spent some money on this.
Yep.
In the design stage, right? All those salaried employees that worked on it, the people that painted it, the people that sculpted it, the people that 3D printed it, all the people involved, the marketing team, they all get paid to work on this for several months, and it never got made.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was short a couple hundred backers, like literally, it should have been made. They just messed up on their marketing, I'll call it, by including not Ula,
Yeah.
and not Maliki.
Yep.
It was a Good Morning Garden and a Luke, two figures we already had, and they released two more times since then. So, no brainer. Now they're doing Marvel Legends made to order items. They've done three of them now, and they're all delivering. And people, I haven't seen anyone complain about them yet. Any of these giant Marvel Legends for $300.
Yeah, it works good.
And they've done three in a year, or at least two in 1 year. So it can be done. And maybe that's something to do in the future, or every couple of years they do a HasLab, and then maybe the year between they do 30% cheaper, 40% cheaper item as a built to order. There's not a lot, there's a lot of items, but when it comes to the amount of items they can make, I think G.I. Joe wins by the amount of vehicles and stuff they could possibly make, right?
Yep.
So no brainer if you ask me, but I don't work for Hasbro. And then because we see these AT-ATs, several of them, in a couple of the new Mando and Grogu trailers, these molds do exist. They're not thrown away. They're in a warehouse somewhere. So they could reproduce this, slap some paint on it, throw Mandu on a ATRT vehicle or whatever snowmobile thing they could have, and just make it. Again, I don't see it being made to order. I see it being Hasbro Pulse, Entertainment Earth, Shop Disney exclusive, something like that. Available at a few exclusive stores. Get some, though, that way they can make 10,000 plus of them and get them out there. So those are my left coast theories for 2027, mostly based on the 50th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope. And if you don't already, please follow my page on Facebook. I'll post it in the chat here. This is my Heroes and Villain page. Then I'm also pulling up David's.
Give me a like and a follow and a sub and all that stuff. Most of my stuff's on YouTube and also Instagram. I have Facebook as well.
But I'm going to start telling all my friends that are on YouTube, start utilizing Facebook. If you have a channel name, Instagram name, a handle, do the exact same thing on Facebook. If you're posting reels on Instagram or shorts on YouTube, post them on Facebook. They also call them reels on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook now pays you. You get monetized a lot easier than YouTube. Star Wars Theory, I heard him talk the other day about moving to Facebook.
Really?
Not exclusively. I'm sure if Facebook was to send him an email and a check, he would. Much like Joe Rogan moved over to Spotify for a year for $11 billion or whatever stupid money he made off of that. And there's David's Red Wagon dioramas on Facebook, and I'm going to share his Facebook here as well.
Thank you, Rick.
Man, sharing is caring.
It is. It's fun. I want to hear a little bit about Gentle Giant Jumbos, because I collect those.
Yeah, let's go there a little bit.
What was your involvement? I know you said you met the guys at Gentle Giant at Celebration, and then you started working on art development. Did you do sculpting of the figures too, or did you do
none of the sculpting stuff? So they had reached out to me. We have mutual friends, and one of my mutual friends gave him A sticker pack I made. So I
Okay.
don't know if you know some of my original Kenner artwork drawings I made as sticker packs
Right.
before I started making some pins and patches and whatnot. And he gave one of these, gifted them to someone at Gentle Giant. I don't want to say any names stuff on here. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey man, Rick, I love your shit. Um, let's get to work. I want you to design some stuff." And so I designed some enamel pins for Gentle Giant based on my Kenner Star Wars action figure artwork, and which is right up the alley for enamel pin making, as I found out. So they made. Oh, just grab it here.
I know I have some of your pins here. I bought a few things from you like 2 years ago. I think where I put them. Oh, they're around here somewhere. Oh, here's one of them. I got one. I got your Gamorrean right here.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
There's only one rule: you got to collect them all.
I do not have them all. I only have a couple.
So yeah, I
Great.
signed up for a little freelance contract with Gentle Giant Limited. This is before they were owned by Diamond Select Toys.
Yep.
And they designed some enamel pins in 2 sizes for convention exclusives for 2018. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 100% scale, so like 3.75 inches. Chewbacca, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Stormtrooper, and Darth Vader, and they were blind boxes.
Okay. Hey, can you make your screen big again so I can see that better?
Yeah, I'm just figuring it out because they keep changing it.
Oh, Mr. B's asking if you're still selling in the U.S. You know, it's
not right now, Mr. B. I can't ship there. So I didn't design a box. That someone, designed a generic blind box. So
That's
Gentle
cool.
Giant that year, they opened up another company called Gentle Giant Toys, which this was going to be under, and it was going to be a blind box series that was at retail and at all the major stores, and it just never came to be. They did make the pins for the conventions, and then the other one was the scale that I'm in love with. This is the 50% scale. So this is the San Diego Comic-Con convention exclusive 2018, which I did not go to. I've never been. And it's Hammerhead, the Lord, Blue Snaggletooth, Walrus Man, and Greedo. And this is the 50% scale, so about 2 inches. And this little box. And they were just, giving these away at the convention. They weren't for sale. They're just
I didn't know that
giveaways
you
to customers
designed
that
those.
bought stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then the plan was that these blind boxes at this size were going to be at all the stores. It just didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. It just never made it. They also made these mini lunch pail boxes that were cool for Marvel and other properties too. They just didn't happen. So yeah, designed the pins, and then I went to Chicago, and I actually got to meet them in Chicago at the Gentle Giant booth, and got to talking a little bit, and then I got to design from my drawings future jumbo action figures. So they would take my drawings and they would send it to like Mickey Mouse for approval. Hey, Mickey Mouse, we want to make a toy that looks like this. Can we continue? Can we move forward? And so my drawings is what they would use for, as a rendering, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And then after doing a few of those, then they got me to edit and design some of the card backs for some of the jumbo figures and the R2D2 box and one box design. And yeah,
this is 2017, so this would have been before your involvement.
Yeah, I didn't work on that one. And before 2018, I never owned a jumbo, and I wasn't a collector of them because they weren't readily available in Canada. They were just you order them from the US for $100 US and pay $40 shipping, and so it wasn't a line I was, I could afford to collect because everything was $150.
Yeah.
So the only one I really want is Hammerhead.
So
and
hard.
Since they made Hammerhead, they now make 3D printers that almost can make those toys just as good, man. So I might get a custom maker to make me a a jumbo hammerhead since he sells for about $400-$500 online.
I've got him right up there. You want to see him?
I've seen him. I
Yeah.
don't have $500 to give you for him.
Yeah. I had to pay. I think I got it for like 175 loose, no card. That and
still double what it would cost originally, right?
But he is so hard to find. I got another friend who's a huge Hammerhead fan, and he's been looking, and he just can't get. They're just impossible.
What I'm learning is there's a lot of in the closet Hammerhead lovers. I don't know why, man. Just let people know Hammerhead. One Hammerhead to rule them all.
You were saying about the R2D2 box. So did you design the box for that Christmas R2D2 with the third leg? Is that what you did?
Well, here's come up with that. So that R2D2 with the Christmas lights,
yeah,
that never came out.
Oh, it didn't. I didn't order that one. I bought the regular one, the Droid Factory one.
Yes. So they called it the Droid Factory one.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So and he reached out to me. He's like, Rick, we're gonna do a Droid Factory. I'm like, dude, awesome. You're doing like the actual Droid Factory droid. Like, that's cool. And then so I'd even designed like a Droid Factory box, and he sent me high-res photos of all the Droid Factory parts, and I'm like, you guys are making a whole factory playset. And I got all excited, and no, it turns out they were just making the R2D2 that they'd already released, but just added the
third leg,
third leg, which now Hasbro is doing
on
the new Kenner droid, which is a bonus because that's going to fit in your vintage or your retro R2D2 or R5D4, was something we never got as a kid. So yeah, but the one that they released, this one, they sold it, they shipped it, just R2 in a nice cool box. They called it the Droid Factory R2 when it really wasn't. So I don't know what happened there, but something I think did happen because I'm pretty sure there was artwork being developed for the whole playset, as well as a Jabba playset, which I don't think Jabba ever got made, but I think they did show a prototype at one of the conventions a year or two ago. And then Tim Barron, one of my favorite artists, he designed, I hadn't heard from Gentle Giant for about a year. The last thing I designed for them was, and they can't sue me because they don't exist anymore.
They don't exist. Yeah, tell us.
Was Krennic. So I designed a Krennic, which I think they probably would have sold 48 of them total. I really don't think it was a popular character.
A Krennic.
So designed a Krennic well over a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Like, I designed these things a year before they even got announced, let alone then they got shipped a year after that. So it took 2 years for some of these things to come to your hands. So I learned that part about the toy business, about how long it takes.
Let me just rattle off the ones that were pre-ordered but never made it to customers. So we had a Man was coming. Like, I paid for that, or I prepaid or whatever. They had the whole Rebo band. They had Max Rebo coming, and they had Droopy McCool was going to be next. They released
Size Noodles. There are people that have Size Noodles.
Oh, I have her. Yeah.
And I believe you can still buy her on Amazon.
Yeah.
Or like other toy stores that aren't Gentle Giant.
She was the last
one. From what I've seen, because whatever Diamond Select still owned, like in a warehouse or whatever, I think someone got caught selling stuff out of that warehouse or something. I don't know, but I think that's been stopped. I don't think anything that's in that warehouse. I think whatever has been shipped to like privately owned stores and comic distributors, that's it. I don't think there's any more. So I think Size Noodles is the last jumbo that's being shipped. I could be wrong. Like I said, it takes 2 years. Like, sometimes these things are out in boats for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, taking the long way around because
they just show up
of strikes or tariffs or whatever's going on. Wars in oceans now. So boats are going to take longer now. So maybe Enamel, who I know went up for pre-order well over a year ago, might be sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
There was also Lando and Skiff Guard,
and then being held back lawfully to not be distributed because of, I don't know how stuff works, man. When people go to bankruptcy protection and then somebody buys that company and then they just dissolve it, like, does that mean they take over the responsibility of the debt? Like, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does that go on their credit rating? They bought a company that went bankrupt? And what do you do with all the product that's sitting in a warehouse somewhere? Like, it must exist. So it sucks, man. I'm glad to see that my contact has moved on and working in the industry for other companies now.
Good.
And
so which other
I knew
ones?
his girlfriend, wife as well, and she's reached out to me. She works at Super 7.
Oh.
And hopefully in the future I have some more work with Super 7.
Good.
I did one little project for them and it didn't go through, but they still paid me for it. But it's cool, man. Like I hope there's other toy companies like that out there that could use my services because that's my jam. Like I would rather design a toy packaging or a toy idea than like an ice cream label box, or there's a lot of industries that require designers with my skills, but my passion, pop culture and toys, and I have experience working in garments, licensed merchandise, whether it's sports or Mickey Mouse or Star Wars, and making and actually in the production side of things, house shirts and pins, and I'm learning more about how the toys and the packaging and all that stuff's made too. So it's I like to be in that business, but it's tough because in Canada we have Spin Master toys, and I believe they're in Ontario, and I don't want to live in Ontario. And they don't even sell their damn toys in Canada for the most part. So Spin Master has a wave of retro Superman 78 3.75 inch figures at Target in the United States.
I've got those.
Yeah, I don't, because they don't sell them in Canada.
What?
And I've actually reached out to them and I said, are these available in Canada? Like, no. I'm like, you're in Canada. How do you, so you ship them from Canada to America and you don't ship them from Canada to Canada's Walmart stores? It makes no sense, man.
I didn't realize they were Canadian. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're a Canadian company, and other products, every other product they make is available in Canada, but not that one.
You want me to ship it to you? I'll send you some. But
well, I'll let you know. I know Super John has at least 2 of them, or maybe he has them all by now, because they're what, like $10 in America?
Yeah, they're $8.
There's no $8 toys in Canada. That $8 you can't even buy a freaking large Starbucks here.
I actually bought $4.99. They were on clearance a couple weeks ago, and I bought a bunch of them.
I heard the last 2 are hard to find: Black Suit, Superman's dad, and Lois Lane. I heard those are the last ones to second wave or something. But yeah, like, rest in peace to General Giant. I'm glad my contact went on to hopefully greater things in a genre. It's a new genre, and I think it's up his alley from what I know about him. I don't know him really well, but I know he likes to rock, and I know he likes like horror, and so, and where he's working is exactly that. So all the best to you, buddy.
Yeah, that's good. So which other
now someone else should just make the rest of the jumbos.
Did they have any other pipeline ones that you can tell me about besides Krennic? What were they doing? Any of the original?
You know what? I meant to look at my email this morning and just check old emails back and forth between me and General Giant, and I didn't. I apologize, but the one on the top of my head is Krennic.
Yeah.
But my deal with them, it wasn't a deal, but everything I designed for them and everything I worked on, whether it was a package design, they would send me the toy, the item. Oh, so I got. Sadly, I've sold them all over the past year, except R2, because that's one of the coolest toys ever made. Yeah. But there's 3 or 4 that they never sent me, and that was during the past year or transition or so, year and a half, when they've been going bankrupt, and they've still been updating social media and putting new shit up for sale, but slowly going out of business because one day they just fired everyone. Like, how do you fire the owner? Like, who fires the owner? Who's the owner's boss?
Yeah.
because that's literally what happened. Like the owner of Diamond Select, who company owned General Giant, they were all fired. Like every employee was fired. Like, so no cleaning lady on Fridays. No, like that's it. Like stop paying the electricity bill in the building. And when a company ends like that, it's not good, man. I just hope staff got paid. Vendors I could care less about, but I hope staff got paid because that sucks, man. By losing a job, but if you lose a job because your company that you worked for many years goes out of business, that sucks, man. Like, I've never been there.
Yeah. Me neither.
All right, so I'm gonna let this breathe.
All right, let's do it.
I don't have a loose Walrus Man, and I don't have a loose Iverson. How many pieces of tape?
I think that Obi-Wan has a better head sculpt too.
It's a nice Obi-Wan, yeah, but I do have at
Yeah.
least 2 of them. But yeah, so with these multi-packs, how it works is there's always, and I don't know, I'm just from my experience, there's always going to be a repack because that's where they make a few extra bucks because they don't got to pay $19,000 to mold that figure.
Do you think that's roughly what tooling is for an average figure, around 19,000?
Well, I know. Okay, so my enamel pins. What the hell? My enamel pins require I have to make a steel mold. It's a one-piece steel mold. I've paid more than $1,000 for a steel mold for one pin design.
One item, one piece. Yeah.
And then, I pay a unit per piece. And then I would pay outrageous shipping costs. Because for whatever reason, these companies have to send you the stuff FedEx, DHL, high-end with tracking and insurance. So I guess I can never come back to them and say, where's the items I paid all this money for?
Well,
I'd rather them stick it on a boat and charge me $10 shipping or pay $180 shipping. Or whatever it is. It's expensive.
I've heard the number $100,000 US, used for like to tool a typical Black Series figure. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
But $100,000 for like a 6-inch figure?
Yeah. So if you've got
I think that's pretty high.
Okay.
I would say 30, 60,000.
Well,
because you're going to make these molds out of steel, and the reason you're making these molds out of steel is so you can make 10,000, 20,000 of these pieces.
Yes,
without having to make a new mold.
Yeah.
So back in the day, our original Kenner toys, there's some of them they made millions of. Like I wouldn't be wrong saying there's 1 million Luke Skywalker farm boys out there, or more.
Right.
And so it got to the point where they had to remade steel molds over and over and over again in multiple countries around the world, just to keep up with the demand of everyone having farm boy Luke Skywalker. And it'll never be like that again. To be fair, in my opinion, I don't think it'll ever be like that again. This is the most complicated toy I've ever opened.
You're having trouble there.
It has like a locking mechanism underneath it, like a plastic knob. I've got to undo the tape and then twist it. I don't even understand.
Well, I'm into TVC right here. What we got? I got Sabine, the deluxe.
Oh, with her beast.
With her beast. That's what I'm opening today. I got this for $20 on sale. It was a pretty good deal. So I like the character of Sabine. I liked her in Rebels, and I thought the Ahsoka did a pretty good job with her. Though it is weird how she's super powerful and all that. But Fun character.
I gotta do ripping. Nothing broke there. Yeah, there's plastic keys.
So this is TBC 352. It's a big deluxe card. It's the wide card. There's no reason this needs to be a deluxe card back. She's just got her normal accessories. But I don't know. It's a nice card.
Did you get a ghost?
No, I did not get the ghost. Too big. Too big, too much money. No.
I want to try and show you this. Okay, now it came up.
I do have the Razor Crest. That's the HasLab I have. And then I bought some of the Marvel ones. Like I bought the Sentinel. And
I got the Razor Crest too, man. It's a beast, and I love it.
Yeah, the Razor Crest is great. The Ghost I would have got. It's just so big. I just don't know where I would put it.
I got the big Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
and that's a beast. Like it's so big, I actually have to keep it in storage. Like it's like the Falcon. I have it on top of one of my Billy bookcases, or sorry, the Razor Crest. I couldn't put the Falcon, and there's no place. It's too big.
Yeah,
it's like 2.5 feet wide.
I picked up the big Falcon 2 for the first time this summer at a toy show, and it was one of my favorite pickups of the year. It's amazing. But
it's a beast, man.
I haven't figured out a place to put it either. It's sitting vertically against the wall over here next to me.
Okay, so I'm not going to take all those parts out because, wow, there's a lot of parts, man. But I'm cool. I'm cool now. A Hammerhead has a place to drink all day.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm sure he'll be hanging around with like characters like Lack Sivrak. Gotta make sure there's not things here my cat will eat.
I don't know if I want to open Sabine. She's so nice in this card. I don't know. I probably will. I'll open her.
You're a let him breather, aren't you?
Most of the time. Sometimes I will keep things carded. I do both.
Yeah,
I have a full carded display of retro collection behind me. Look to my left here. See that?
Yeah, I've seen some of most of your collection in your videos.
So I do have carded stuff. I like keeping some of it carded when it looks nice, you know. But most of the time I open it.
Those retros up front there. Yeah,
these are all retros here. Yeah. So this one isn't. This is TBC, but
get that crap out of there.
This is that new Bib Fortuna re-release that they did.
It's a good figure. Does he have any cups?
No, he doesn't come with anything. It's
what a waste.
Yeah.
Didn't his Black Series figure come with like 3 cups?
It came with a couple cups. Yeah.
All right, now let's see if I can remove
this beast off here. It looks pretty cool.
I like the teeth. Yeah, it is pretty cool.
An articulated mouth there. Saddle reins. Good. This is the one that comes with extra hind legs, so you can do it like in a haunched sitting position, like a dog.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So you pop those on. That's kind of neat.
It's rare Star Wars coming with extra things and stuff.
Yeah.
And now they got Boba Fett with an extra hand or two, and
yeah.
Why would it go to this screen when I'm not even sharing the screen? All right, so this is my first time playing with Werher. Face. Yeah. So he came packaged, his gun's already in his holster. Like there's even a rubber band on it. I'll just leave that right there. Because does he even pull out his blaster?
I don't think so.
He yells, "Arr!" And then Walrus Man's actually cool, man. I waited. I saw him like at Walmart in a box, and I saw him at the time it was called GameStop in a box. His head's huge, but I love it, man. The orange is just so retro. He just needs blue sleeves and blue pants.
He has the flipper hands in that set, right? That's the only way to get the flipper hands.
They're taped on the sides.
Yeah.
And his gun's like actually in his hand. So yeah, he pulled out the blaster.
Yeah.
And then I think when I display him, it'll be laying on the ground. He looks great. His head's big.
Yeah, it's a big. It looks like an oversized head, but I guess it was
But
a
I
big.
guess it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I haven't opened up Black Series in a little while. Get out of here, Rick.
I guess this is called Let It Breathe, so I got to cut open the bubble.
If you like the card backs, like I keep my card backs.
Yeah.
Like even I just do. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Like I like Kenner artwork, but if I happen to get another action figure that's not Kenner, I'll still keep the card back. What I don't like is what Hasbro does on the back of the card backs. Is nothing.
Such a waste.
Like, do the cross cell. That's another part of the design that I love. Like I'm a huge fan of, the Star Wars. Oh, soft goods too.
Yeah, nice little poncho.
Is it helmet go on or is it a separate head?
No, it's a swappable. It's a peg in there, so it's a swappable head.
I don't mind that because you can still display her holding it. They did that with someone else, who Boba Fett or someone.
Yeah. Actually, that looks good. Yeah, because the original release of the Sabine figure has this huge helmet, and that was the big criticism, that it looked too big, so they fixed it with this. So I guess it is worth opening this one up. Get the better sculpt.
Is there any other difference to it?
I don't think so. It looks like the same. You get the saber and the two blasters. And yeah, so I think it's the same. I think the soft goods is different on this one. I don't think the other one had soft goods. Speaking of cross sells, so I talked to Steve Evans about that, Mr. Stevie.
Yeah.
I asked him why he can't. I was talking about retro collection at the time. Like, here's one of the retro figures. And I asked him, why can't they put, like, why can't he do his yellow poster on the back, or or do his yellow, put that yellow poster on one side of one of these boxes, and show all the figures. And he said that it's international business law or international law that they can't advertise something on the packaging if it's not available for sale in that country. So they can't show any figures on the packaging if it's not available to buy in that country. And because they're distributing, internationally.
Well, yeah, now because they're cheaping out in a way, they're only producing the one card back.
Right.
So in the 70s and 80s, it seemed to not be a problem to have Canadian packaging, American packaging,
right,
packaging in England, packaging in Germany, packaging, like everyone had different packaging. So they could change their. So I don't like that excuse, because there's no reason why they can't print.
They would have to print different packaging for different markets. That's what they.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a big extra cost. Like,
yeah,
that's not like, oh, we got to make a different sculpted head for Argentina. It's like that big mold cost. There's no molding when it comes to, you're paying the same artist, graphic designer, or AI to change that text on the card to be, American or Canadian or British.
Yeah.
So that cost might go up an hour or two of salary. And then, the 2-hour break at the production facility where they change the plates. And so I get it. There's a cost, but it's not that big of a cost. And just bigger costs to worry about.
Yeah.
But yeah, the jumbo figures, they're made a little differently. They're like the roto cast, like spin molds. So those molds generally don't even have to be metal, steel in any way, shape, or form. Wait, they can be aluminum. I don't know what Gentle Giant used, but they can also just be fiberglass and silicone, and you can make a few hundred, 500 maybe, and then you just make a new mold. It's not expensive to make a new, silicone mold based off your hard copy or whatever you're using to make these spin molds out of. So it's a different technique. It's not really. I'm sure it's been modernized since like the 60s.
What do you
no, they're not injection molded. They're spin molded, like Funko Pops. Like they're just.
Okay.
So they inject the plastic into there, and they just spin the F out of the mold, and because everything's inside is hollow, right?
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, great. Interesting.
So, and on a Kenner style figure, there'll be like probably two, maybe three smaller steel molds, and that one mold will be the hard plastic, like the torso, that's two parts, front and back,
Right.
and then the other mold would be all the parts that are soft plastic, so the legs and arms and the head or helmet, and maybe the weapons. They can get away with. They'll never be in one mold because Hasbro style is hard torsos and then the softer limbs,
Yeah.
for obvious safety reasons and stuff like that. But so that's why they can't be the same steel mold, because there's two different types of plastic going in it.
Yeah.
But then you look at what's that model company now?
Bandai.
Bandai.
Yeah.
Like I bought a couple of those kits, and they're phenomenal. They're the most high-end model toy company that exists on the planet. These Japanese toy companies. When you pull out the tree with all the parts, it has black parts, white parts, chrome vac metal parts.
Yep.
And they're all injection molded in like 3 different colors. And in some cases, the parts are even painted. Because that exists and can be done, that means you can take a steel mold and inject hard PVC plastic and soft, PET or whatever the other kind of softer plastic in the same mold. I'm sure it can be done. I'm very curious. I'd love to visit somewhere in Asia, wherever any of these factories exist, even in Mexico or South America. There's other factories, just to see the whole process. But mostly in like Japan, where they make these, or the Bandais, because those guys are top of the line now. Like that's,
yeah.
And now we got the new face print technology, where it's like inkjet print and not just silk screen tampo, 1 color, 2 color. Now it's 4 color CMYK, and they can, have him have stubble on his beard and eyelashes and blue eyes all in the same 3-second process. It's interesting, man. I think the whole process of making figures is awesome. They're dorky, but they're cool as hell, man. I wish they all had original card backs, though. Yeah. It makes them easier to open that way. This way. And Lex Luthor has removable hair.
I know. I'm looking forward to opening him. This is the first one I'm opening. I've not opened any of these yet, so this is my first time. Spin Master.
They're dorky, but I like them, like, because they're retro, and retro's meant to be a little bit dorky.
I think the head sculpt on him is pretty good, actually. It's got
as long as he's got that little hair swip,
little curl, and
that's his trademark, right?
It's a hard PVC cape.
If I would have hair, I totally would have a little little swip.
Yeah, not a bad little figure. It's kind of cool. I'll open up the rest of them later. But yeah,
I'm glad you got a good deal on them, man. I know they're cheap.
I mean, even $8 is a fine deal, and but they were marked down to $5 for a week or two at Target for some reason.
I don't know what these are or why these exist, but there's like a whole aisle dedicated to Goo-Jitsu, whether it's Mr. Beast or Marvel. So it's like it's like the modern day Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, okay, that's a cool idea.
Plastic head, though. So basically, if I go to a store and I see a Hulk, I usually leave with that Hulk.
You're a big Hulk fan, huh?
And I add them to the Hulkseum. Yeah, like I said, I'm quite picky with my collecting, except when it comes to Hulk or Mr. T or Bigfoot or I guess Hammerhead. Like, anything exists merchandise-wise with those characters, I'll probably get it if I can afford it. How about you? What's your after? I'm assuming Star Wars is your number one passion, but after Star Wars, what would you think would be your coolest, second funnest thing to collect or enjoy?
It's a great question. I think I would have to go Spider-Man, just because classic Marvel Spider. I've got a lot of Spider-Man. Like, I have a Marvel section here. You can't see it on any of the videos, but I have a bunch of the retro figures that Hasbro did a few years
The
ago.
3 3/4. Yeah, I love those. I have them
Full
all.
display. I have all of those right here in front of me, and I love those too. So like I've got here's the Spider-Man right here from Hasbro with the web wings.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a couple of action verse ones that they didn't make in retro, whether it be Miles Morales or
Yeah.
the Chicks. They're like, they're, I don't know, inches. They're like 5 or 10 millimeters bigger, but
Yeah.
they work. You just put them in the background a little bit.
Well, I like Thanos. I picked up Thanos from that line because
Yeah, he works because he's a
it
big
fit.
dude.
Yeah, he's a big, bulky guy.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
And he fits with this is the Spider-Man I just showed. So
absolutely. Yeah.
it works. So yeah, a little
I
mix.
have a feeling too that Marvel retros will return, and I'm gonna guess again, 2027.
Interesting.
Just because Mr. Stevie's been in charge at Hasbro for with the Marvel and Star Wars side for over a year now, maybe even
I think he's 2 years now.
coming
Yeah.
2 years now,
Yeah.
and now he's planning 2 years ahead. And because Mr. Stevie, I know he's like you and me, like I think I know what he likes. I know he likes the retro 375 when it comes to anything, and I'm sure he was a big, component to bringing that Marvel retro series to life. It was still branded Marvel Legends. It was just more retro and more affordable, mass-produced toys. Those also, a lot of those ended up at our dollar stores here too, and I'm glad because I bought doubles and triples of all of them because I want to make customs. But I still need a Punisher. There's a lot of Marvel's got a lot of characters, man. So does DC.
Yep.
Now, what if Hasbro dipped their toes in a DC license and made retros?
I would buy those. Yeah.
I would too. I've seen. So McFarlane is still making everything DC until the end of 2026, I believe.
Yeah.
But starting summer 2026, Mattel is going to start making children's specific a couple of lines of DC toys. So they won't overlap with anything McFarlane does because he makes no children's specific toys.
So
Right?
they're not going to do a 6-inch line right away or anything like that.
No, because they won't have the rights until McFarlane's done.
Okay.
So, but they will start taking over. I'm assuming taking over from Jax or Spin Master or Jada or whoever currently is making child-focused DC toys. So Mattel is going to be the master. When I say master, they're going to have a license for all the different toys. Yeah, that's a good-looking toy.
That's funny.
Rest in peace to him as well.
With the hairpiece. Look at that. That's great. I love it.
I do too. I think that one's probably my favorite from that set. Because I'm jealous. I don't have removable hair.
I think you can buy one of those. I think you buy something that might work.
Or I just fly to Turkey and get them to sew some new hair on take it off my ass and put it on.
Yeah.
That's great. I've seen some pictures show up online of like an airplane coming home from Turkey. And it's like 30 men with a bunch of stitches and scars on their heads and bandages with blood. It's like, and it's nasty. Like that's nasty. I wouldn't want to be on that airplane.
Yeah.
So you all ready for Christmas, Steve?
I am all ready for Christmas. It's only a few days away.
We are my family, my immediate family that lives locally. We're meeting up this afternoon. So
well, good for you.
Got a couple of presents for my grandnieces. That's all it's all about. Seeing some family and give presents to the kids.
I have 4 kids. So I got a lot of stuff around me to wrap for them.
I don't have any kids. I have 2 adult nephews. Both, and one of them has a little girl. So I'm a grunkle. I'm a great uncle. I'm the greatest uncle, really. But they call me Grunkle Rick.
Grunkle Rick. That's a good one.
And I don't know why, but my sister and my mom have weird nicknames that they like to be called. So I think they call my sister, which is her grandma, I think they call her George. And I think they call my mom, so her great grandma, Frank. And I know people call their grandmas like Nona.
Yeah.
Or, Nana. There's a lot, but for whatever reason, in my family, it's Frank and George,
That's
and I'm
unique.
Grunkle.
Man.
So yeah, my family's normal.
There's not many normal
Merry
families.
Christmas to you, Mike.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Mike. Thanks for watching.
What's he collecting?
Mike is a Star Wars guy. He loves vintage Kenner as well. He has a bunch of carded first 12 figures on Kenner card, a couple $1,000
Beauty.
type
Do I
figures.
know him? Is he one of the fellows in our
No,
community?
he's just a local friend of mine locally, and like he doesn't do any social media much, but I've been
He's not missing out on much. But
yeah,
thanks for joining us, man. It's
studio
really
scale model.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
he's got a studio scale at that he showed me, and I know he's got something else in too. But
What
yeah,
I'm such a fan of the ad. I've watched, dude, over the past year, 100 different videos on YouTube of guys building studio scale sand crawlers. Because to me, studio scale sand crawler is what the HasLab would be,
sure.
like literally.
Yeah.
So the latest and greatest Darth Vader's TIE Advance that Hasbro made, not only is it to like 3 3/4 scale, and it's a little bit bigger than the original Kenner, and then the later Hasbro Power of the Force style. It's a little bigger. I've seen the pictures, and it looks really, really well done. It's considered studio scale.
Is it? Okay.
It's like within a centimeter, half a centimeter on the width or the height or something of what the studio scale was. So that's cool that Hasbro can officially say. And I think even the Razor Crest is close to the studio scale that they used when they did their like flyby, the ILM shots before they added any CGI effects and stuff like that. So I love the fact that they still do that. Like real stop motion stuff, as like the Phil Tippett and all those guys in ILM. Man, what a dream job that would be.
Mike, I think it's time for another visit to your house to see.
He's saying Sandcrawler, Slave One, and AT-AT.
I only saw the AT-AT in person.
All right, now you got to go over there and take a video of the Sandcrawler. David needs that good content on his channel.
Sounds like a good YouTube video, Mike. Let's do it.
And I guess the Slave One would be pretty big too, right?
Yeah, it's
awesome, man. We look at least get Dave some pictures so we can see what you got there. Pictures. This is 2025. Send us a video, 4K widescreen video, man. We all got it in our camera in our pocket.
Next stream we can have get some video and pictures from Mike.
Yeah, I'm more like 3.75 to my heart is where I first started collecting toys. Even though I'm sure when I was a kid I had a 12-inch $6 million man, or like some toys that weren't 3.75 inch, but that's my jam. That's why I'm a huge fan of anything retro, like Super 7 reaction figures. I love most of them. Some of them I think are just the stupidest, and why would you who's gonna buy? And like I would never say that to their face, but some of them I'm like, really? Like I would sell like 11 of those if I owned a company and made that character as a toy. Like I don't even know 11 people who even know who that character is. Yeah. But now the Fushnikins is the latest drop, which I think is freaking rad. I'm a huge 90s funk rap.
Oh, I didn't know.
Toys are great retro figures. I would love to get the 7-inch Ultimate ones, but they're expensive, man. They're like $100 each in Canada. So I can't spend $100 each on toys, man. On action figures when I need multiples, like 3 of them,
Right. Yeah.
What's a Facebook? It's where you talk to your family. Yeah, with the vehicles, the 375 is the way. And even like Dave, we'll have to get another video going, and we'll show off more of your diorama work, like you said, most 6-inch scale. I've started so many dioramas and never finished them, including a full-size Jabba sail barge. In the 90s, I was making one out of foam board and paper, and then I moved 2 or 3 times in my my 20s and early 30s, and I said, you know what, it's recycle bin. Like it was getting damaged because it's paper and foam board, right? But it was big, man. It was like almost 3.5, 4 feet. I hadn't painted. It was all just weight, water, or white color, like white board, foam board. But yeah, I started so many things, I never finished it. I've got a couple of dioramas that some friends built. I don't just one up there right now. But now I got room for my cantina there.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I should do. I should work on a big canteen because I got the cantina and it's in a box, and I need a like a tabletop
Like,
display for that.
here, I work for Hasbro. Let's make
Yeah,
half a bar.
right.
Come on, man. Like, so I have this, and now like, I got all these. Like, okay, what is this for? Like, it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't fit. I can't extend it anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll have to read the instructions. Well, yeah. So we went over some of my predictions. I do think Hasbro is not losing the license anytime soon. I personally have a feeling since Todd McFarlane has dipped his toes in the Marvel license by producing 6-inch posed figures and now like 1/3 scale Hulk posed figures from the Marvel Rivals game.
Yep.
So he's got a couple of different Marvel things going that he's dipped his toes in. He's got a lot of licenses he's also involved with Ninja Turtles and Doom and Avatar and anime stuff and you name it. I think I've heard him say in an interview the only license he has not dipped his toes in that would be a goal of his is Star Wars. So I have a feeling by 2027 he will announce that he is a Star Wars license and he would probably produce 6-inch posed statues along that kind of line, like not McFarlane DC 7-inch multiverse, but maybe if Hasbro doesn't have the license, but I'm almost positive they'll have the license in 2 years. But I can see him making statues in the future. That way his goal is complete. He's made Marvel, DC, Star Wars right alongside Spawn himself, his creation. He can retire happy, young Canadian.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
thanks for joining me, Dave. You got any coming up events you want to shout out or?
No, I just thanks for having me, Rick. It was real fun. I'm glad to talk to you after all these years, and I would enjoy streaming with you again in the future. Yeah, no, it's just yeah, follow me on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, and I post mainly Star Wars collecting videos and toy hunts and that kind of stuff. But you can see that I have a full. If you want to see the dioramas, I have a video on there. It's got like 40 something thousand views. It's a
That's
great
the
video.
one. Yeah.
It's the whole collection of. It's just the Black Series dioramas. So that's one of my most popular videos, and I always direct people there if they want to check out what I've done. So.
I think I've got 40,000 views on my channel.
Total.
No, I think I'm up to I think I'm almost at 1 million views total. But
yeah,
I still need 303 watch hours to.
Well, they do more streams. You'll get some of the hours, and then it's YouTube's hard. I mean, it took it's random too. Something will break through, and a bunch of people will watch it, and then all of a sudden you're there. It's like
it is. I'm just trying to follow the rules and do what I like to do and have fun. But I'm telling you right now, if I change this thumbnail to some chick with big tits and a president of Trump with a noose around his neck or some stupid thing, I'll get 1 million views in 24 hours, man.
There you go.
But I don't want to do that. Like I might make a channel just to make a stupid video with a really catchy thumbnail with big yellow font on it and AI. I'm getting really pissed off at what people are doing now is reels and shorts.
Yeah.
Is the thumbnail is something and you click on it. Nowhere in that 1 minute or 2 minute video you watch does that actual thing, product, person, woman with big tits or whatever show up in that video. So it's literally it's
clickbait.
It's fake advertising.
Yep.
So I've reported a couple of shorts that I saw like that. It's not my place. I'm not a reporter kind of thing, but I think that's just outright stupid. And but people can get monetized in 24 hours by posting stupid shit like that.
Hey, I got a picture from Mike of his studio scale stuff real quick before we end here.
Oh, dude, yeah, you want to share? You can share that.
See if I can share my screen here.
Thanks for sharing, Mike.
Let's see if this works.
Hopefully it wasn't with an iPhone 1.8 megapixel.
It's a little bit.
Just kidding.
There we go. Can we see that?
Do you see here we go.
So that looks like it's a cube.
Yeah. I can see the size of the helmet underneath.
Yeah, so that's a cube shelf, IKEA cube shelf. So yeah, this is his. So I saw this ad in person, and it's all articulated. It has moving joints and everything. It's got the snow weathering on it. There's a little clearer shot.
Was that an official kit or like a garage kit kind of thing, or Sideshow or one of the big makers?
It's a third-party maker. You had to pre-order. I think it took him like 2 years to get it, right, Mike? He ordered it like a year and a half.
I think I know the one because I recognize a little bit of snow paint on it.
Mike, tell us the name of the company in the chat there.
Oh, he's just getting garage kit.
And then this helmet was a custom helmet he had made. I think the guy was in like Germany or someplace.
Oh, I love that. I like the snow with the added touch.
Yeah. So I haven't seen his Sandcrawler yet. That's cool. It lights up and everything. I gotta go check that out.
That is very cool, man. That's the one I'm excited. I'm AT-AT is no favorite vehicle of mine. The Shuttle Tidarium, I love them all. Like Star Wars is so original when it comes to like space battle specific looking, garage built vehicles. Like that's what they seem like, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. I appreciate that, Mike.
All right.
So did you build that, Mike? If that's a garage kit, did you build it or did you buy it pre-built, pre-painted?
They built it and sent it to him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Mike doesn't have all those artistic crafty skills.
Mike's not a very talented guy. No.
Mike's not a talented guy at all. Bought it built. Hey, that works, man. You might pay a couple bucks extra, but I would buy it to build and then spend 100 hours building it and then put it away. Then I get a new hobby. Like, oh, now I'm gonna 3D print. That's the way life goes. But thanks again for joining me, David. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas.
You too.
And to everyone in the chat, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Collect them all and let them breathe.
Let them breathe.